P1 in the building. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And this week we are back once again with another episode of Corrupt Pastors. This is where we take a look at some of the stupid stuff pastors say and we call them out on their BS. It's a pretty simple concept, pretty straightforward. And if you haven't seen my other two videos of the series with the Pastor Greg Block and Pastor Stuart Allen Clark, be sure to check those videos out. But those are not our topics for today. Our topic for today is the one and only Apostle Robin D. Bullock. And yes, this series is not only just for pastors, for apostles, bishops, ministers, you name it, they will be part of this series. But yeah, we have Apostle Robin Bullock or Pastor Robin Bullock in this article. This article is from Newsweek. The article will be linked in the description, so you can check that out below. But if you're not familiar, we'll give some background, and we'll because we don't usually talk about politics here, but I think politics talking about here is very necessary. We're gonna go to the 2020 election, probably the most controversial election in American history. Simply because a lot of reasons. The main reason being one of them being its election during a pandemic, so it increased. So we saw a lot of increased mail-in voting. That is one of the big things that we have seen in this election was the fact that we had a huge increase in mail-in voting. A lot of people believe that was voter fraud, but so far the evidence on that, we're gonna stay out of that evidence-wise. People believe that that is a big cause in voter fraud. Others believe that that is stupid. In short, but we're looking at this article and because one thing is that we've had a lot of heavy Trump supporters since that election who are very much putting their confidence back into Donald Trump to win the 2024 presidential election, with some people keeping up their Trump signs in lots of cases. But we have Pastor Robin Bullock here who still believes that Trump is the president of the United States. Okay. And there's this excerpt that we're going to read from this article. There's excerpts that we're going to read from this article. So let's start off with Pastor Robin Bullock, who describes himself as operating heavily in the prophetic realm, claimed during a Tuesday church service that prophets will call back former President Donald Trump for 3 terms. Many Christian leaders and believers have been ardent supporters of Trump since his election in 2016. A number of self-described prophets, including Bullock, predicted that Trump would easily win re-election in 2020, which we all know turned out to be false. While some admitted that they were wrong and apologized, Bullock still believes that he was correct and that Trump continues to be the legitimate president, according to his Tuesday remarks. The stage is set, Bullock said in sermon, which was first responded by Right Wing Watch. But you're gonna have to pray for the rightful president, whether he wants to walk back into this or not. You must pray that he wants to do it, because God won't make him do anything. It is his will. Yes, he is the president. Yes, that's why he could just walk back in and God will supernaturally move things out of the way. Oh man, we're not even fully into this, but that first section, there's already a lot that we can kind of just deep dive into. With first the fact of, let's start off with first of the fact that I hate to say it, but Trump lost the election. I'm sorry, but Trump lost the election. And if you're still thinking that Trump won this election, if you're still on that, as we're in March of 2021, and this was back in November, you need to move on with your life and you need to get over it. That is first off. Second of all, Trump is not president. Again, I hate to say it, but Trump isn't president, and we've had time and time again. Like, this election, I think, has been at least run back 3 or 4 times, at least 3 or 4 times, especially with some states having to recount votes, which is as stupid as it sounds. The fact that even through all that, Trump still lost the election kind of says a lot. But let's get into the deep part of this. The thing is, a former president cannot just walk back in office and just pick things up where they left off. That is not how American politics works. That is not how the executive branch of the United States works. You can't just walk in and say, "Oh, I'm president, guys. I'm still the president." That's not how things work. Well, let's continue on. Let's continue on with this article. Um, Bullock, who is the founder of Alabama's Youth Force Ministries Church International and hosts the weekly prophetic YouTube program, The 11th Hour, said it was apparent Trump was still president when all you have to do is listen to him. He is the president. Again, he's clearly so delusional that like it's almost sad. But I hate to say it again, but Trump is not president. I hate to say it. I hate to burst your bubble there. But Trump is not so president unless you're like in unless Trump is moved to a different planet or something, and you're just a different planet, and we're just directing this news to Earth. But to my knowledge, Trump is not president anymore. Let's do a quick check. Let's do a quick check. Um, because I don't think, to my knowledge, he is still president. But we'll find out. And to my knowledge, no. And from everything that I'm seeing, and I'm going to show you guys, we just looked up Donald Trump. Like, let's bring this up. We're going to bring this up. It says right here, Donald John Trump is an American media personality and businessman who served as the 45th president of the United States from 2017 to 2021. That is, further proof that he is not still the president of the United States. That is all the proof that you need right there. Um, that is what you need right there. But back to our article. But back to our main article of our series. But let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. Um, we're gonna have to start publicly talking about that he's the president. I know they will say, "Really? Why would you say that in public?" Because he is. Bullock continued. Don't mess with us, Satan. Don't mess with us, corrupt political regimes. Don't mess with God's people like that. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you mess with us, we'll call him back for 3 terms. Don't mess with us. Again, this is not how American politics works. This is so like he is so delusional. Like he's so delusional. Like I'm kind of wondering like what is he smoking? What's he drinking? Because I might want some of that. But this is like this is how you know like this is the like how delusional he is because he's still going on here, and then we have an amendment in the Constitution which prohibits a president from running for 3 terms. That was because, mainly because one, it's been almost a tradition here that presidents serve 2 terms. The only president to break that tradition was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The only one to really break the tradition. And not only because of that, we had to make an amendment to make sure that people don't run for a second term. And to make not a second term, a 3rd term. But we have this guy over here saying that we're gonna have 3 Trump terms. Oh no, that is not happening. Um that is not happening. But yeah, that I think will do it for this edition of Corrupt Pastors. We have people who still are desperately hanging on to this election, who still believe that Trump won this election from the get-go, and that he should still be and that he is the current president of the United States, and should still be the current president of the United States. We have people like that. It's unfortunate to say in this world, but that is the reality we live in. And you can tell these people from a mile away, and honestly, you should just stay away from them because you probably don't know what's going on in their mind. But I think that'll do it for another edition of Corrupt Pastors. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time on the channel. Till then, take care, everybody, and bye bye.